Hey guys, MultiClassicGamer here. Welcome back to more Battle for Bikini Bomb on Xbox, the revisit of the game, the 2019 revisit. Alright, let's start this episode off by visiting Squidward and Lair Patrick's Rock.
First, those stupid robots ruined a perfectly relaxing mud bath this morning, and now you show up. Can my day get any more dreary?
I am so sorry, Squidward. Patrick and I were just playing a game and...
Oh, I correct myself. I should have known that whole robot problem involved both of you.
Squidward, I don't know what to do. How can I fix everything?
Why don't you move to another town? That should help out more than enough. Move to another town. I cracked me up. But seriously, just jump around like an idiot. That should at least make me smile.
Oh, Squidward, I'm so happy I could jump. I could just jump and jump and jump for joy to my heart's content. So yeah, you can, you also want to destroy everything in Squidward's house. Like, you literally want to because you actually get, Wait a second. Oh, yeah, this time. Gotta bust over the fireplace. Yeah, you get a saw for destroying everything in Squidward's house, and also, you literally want to annoy Squidward with your constant...
Okay, just stop jumping, will you? If you take this golden spatula, will you please go away?
See, Squidward? I knew that you could help me out. You're the best.
Don't touch me.
Oh my god, Squidward, you got me a sock for destroying everything in your house, and a golden spatula for annoying you. I'm so happy I could just jump. No, I'm kidding. Okay, enough of that. Let's get our golden spatula and get our socks, you know, get our earnings and whatnot. So yeah, other than Patrick's Rock, there's really nothing else to the first of three areas of Bikini Bottom. Bikini Bottom is just your basic hub world, where you learn all the important stuff that you need to learn before moving on to the first world of the game, Jellyfish Fields. And yeah, in the Revenge of the Flying Dutchman PS2 Let's Play, the loading screens were so long in that game that I actually went ahead and just cut most of them. But in this game, I honestly don't really need to because of how short they are. I can just talk over them, and that's the end of it. Oh crap, I missed something in Patrick's Rock, so we'll go ahead and go back in there. I literally don't mind because of how short these screens are. But anyways, there's a lot I want to talk about in this episode. There's a lot that I didn't go into in the last episode. Yeah, we got this nice little tune that plays whenever you hit Patrick's phonograph there, or whatever it's called, sorry. I'll flash the correct term on screen. I just not really familiar with those things because they come from an older generation that came before me. So I apologize. I missed this blue shiny object in the last episode. But thankfully, whenever you go in and out of areas, tikis will reload. So these, and again, I should probably get more into tikis because tikis are basically these little things that you can destroy and get shiny objects for. And you start off with just the basic wooden tikis here, and there's also these floating tikis that you see that are holding up the wooden tikis. And floating tikis, once again, especially later on in the game, they will actually be used as platforms, oftentimes. And also, going more into Mr. Krabs here, his rewards are actually pretty expensive. He actually has a menu of his own down at the very bottom here. Yeah, both he and Patrick have their own menu at the bottom of the screen here. But anyways, his rewards, or his golden spatulas, are very expensive. He starts off charging you, I think, like $3,500 or something like that, or $2,500, somewhere around there. And the price actually increases the more golden spatulas you get from it. By the end, you're paying 7,000 shiny objects for the last golden spatula from him. He has 8 golden spatulas to get. So in total, you spend 39,500 shiny objects in this game on Mr. Krabs to get all the golden spatulas from him. And because of that, you cannot complete this game and get enough shiny objects to... Like, you cannot complete this game without going out of your way to grind shiny objects to get all the golden spatulas from Mr. Krabs. You just can't do it because these shiny objects are so expensive from him and for other reasons. But anyways, Jellyfish Fields.
The rolling green hills of Jellyfish Fields, a place to experience nature at its most raw, and sometimes a bit tender from the stings.
Squidward, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, you barnacle head. Do I look like I'm okay?
Well, your nose does look pretty big. I mean, bigger than usual because it's usually pretty big. And you look clammy. And oh my gosh, you're bald!
I've always been bald, but now I'm stung all over.
Well, according to the Jellyfisher Field Manual, severe jellyfish stings can be treated effectively by applying a thick layer of king jellyfish jelly to the affected areas. King jellyfish?
You know, this is one of those moments where it really would help if they added, you know, a little more expression to the characters during their dialogue. I mean, SpongeBob looked a little too happy when he was talking about, you know, how scared he is of the king jellyfish.
Well, I guess you're off to scale Spork Mountain and die a horrible death under the vicious tentacles of King Jellyfish. I'll stay here, balled up here in excruciating pain.
You do that! Don't worry, Squidward. I'll bring back that king jellyfish jelly for you to rub all over yourself.
See, right there, they just showed they are capable of having the characters, you know, have expressions, but just not all the time. And another thing about the Xbox version, this is coming from someone who, you know, grew up on the GameCube version. You'll notice that there is, you know, a bit more sound mixing in the Xbox version. I have the music and the sound effects at the highest setting, both equally, and yet the music automatically is adjusted to a lower volume whenever characters talk. That's the first thing I noticed, and also, in general, the music is louder than the sound effects, even if you have both of them at the same exact volume. This is goo. SpongeBob and Patrick can't swim, so don't let them fall in the goo. There's a lot of levels in this game that have goo in them, but yeah, that's a problem because there's one of Patrick's socks out there in the middle of the goo, but there will be a way to get to it later on. This is a teleport box. When you have both the teleport boxes in the area open, you may teleport between them by jumping inside. Anyways, all you have to do is simply walk up to them and they'll automatically open up for you, and they'll tell you whether or not that
I'm going fishing for robots.
whether or not you have both of them activated. So these right here are the most basic robots in the game. They're called fodders. And basically, they have the simple attack where they whack you with an electric wand with an orb at the end of it, like an electrical orb at the end of it. It's very, very basic. You know, very basic enemies. That's all you can say about them. And you'll be seeing them throughout the entire game. In Jellyfish Fields, actually introduces you to 3 types of robots, and in total there are, I believe, 14 types of robots throughout the game. Yeah, about 14. And yeah, you meet 3 of them here in Jellyfish Fields. You meet another 3 of them in downtown Bikini Bottom, and then there's like 1 new robot, I think, in Goo Lagoon. So yeah, you already meet about half of them in the first area of the game alone. So anyways, as I was talking about Mr. Krabs earlier, the reason why you cannot get enough shiny objects in this game to pay for all the golden spatulas without grinding a little bit is because of these clams right here. Throughout the game, there will be these paywalls in the forms of clams that you have to pay shiny objects to in order to progress further on through the game. Well, most of the time you have to. Sometimes it'll just be to unlock a task, but for the most part, inexplicable plane drops a bunch of planks here and form a bridge for us to move on. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to pay the clam in order to move on. But in general, clams are required for whether it be to get a sock or to get a golden spatula. Pretty much, you can't. There's really no reason to skip any of the clams that you find along the way. And because of that, it is not possible to have enough golden spatula, like enough shiny objects without grinding, to pay Mr. Krabs for all of his golden spatulas. So because of that, okay, so here I have a checkpoint. Obvious what checkpoints do. You die, you get transported back to the checkpoint. But the thing is, there's actually no lives in this game, so dying is really not that big a deal in this game. It really isn't. I mean, like, everything, all the robots and Tiki's reset, but otherwise, there's no penalty for dying. Or then if you're in the middle of a platforming area and you have to start over that. But that's as bad as dying gets in this game, pretty much. What we got right here? This is Freezy Fruit. Only Patrick can use Freezy Fruit. It's pretty obvious what the Freezy Fruit's here for, but we'll get more into that later. Flowing Tiki's here. So, what was I saying earlier? I don't know, I forgot. But yeah, we got, Jellyfish Fields is basically the best time for me to talk about the game in general because it's your basic first world, you know, grassy world, basically. That's pretty much all there is to it. There's not much to it. It introduces you to a lot of the game's mechanics that are going to be important for later. But overall, whenever I play through this game, Jellyfish Fields is honestly the part that I dread the most, because it's for someone who's very experienced with the game, it's the world that you see the most of, basically, because it's always the first world you go through when you play through the game. And because of that, it gets, you know, and on top of it being a grassy world, it just makes it one of the more boring worlds to go through. So that's why it's the best place for me to talk about this game in general. I wanted to actually talk about the developers. So this game is developed by Heavy Iron Studios. I totally got that wrong when I first played through this game. When I did the original GameCube Let's Play of this game back in 2012, I didn't know a thing about, you know, how the difference between a developer and a publisher of a game. But it's really hard too, because you know, especially mainly as a kid, because THQ like puts themselves all over the games that, you know, that they release, because the thing is, the publisher often gets a lot more credit than the video game developer, which isn't right in my opinion, but that's how it is, unfortunately. And because of that, it's easy to, you know, mistake the publisher for the developer, basically. But anyways, the game is developed by Heavy Iron Studios. They were founded in August of 1999, and up until this game, they had made 2 games. They made, what was it? Evil Dead game or something like that. And they also made a Scooby-Doo game the year before this game came out. But this was the third game that they made in general. It was the first SpongeBob game. So the fact that they struck gold this early on, you know, with their only their 3rd game, is pretty amazing. And yes, I'm fully aware that there is an HD remaster of this game coming out next year. I talked about that briefly in the last episode. But yeah, this game is getting HD remaster next
Hey,
year.
Gary, what's shaking?
Ow!
Wow, a bungee jump for a golden spatula. I must be in heaven.
Okay, so we got our first bungee jump here, and this one's very simple. It just takes us to a golden spatula. I can bungee from it. From bungee hook, you just jump up and touch it. Dive downward, press the A button. Exit the bungee hook, press the B button. It's very simple. So one thing I will say about this is that in the Xbox and PS2 version, whenever you dive downward, SpongeBob will make a sound. It goes like this. It goes dee. And honestly, I find it kind of annoying. And especially the PS2 version. I don't know what it is about the PS2 version, but I actually find it kind of annoying in that version. And so honestly, that's not something I feel like I really missed that much in the GameCube version growing up. Just saying. Press this button to allow you to advance forward once again. But yeah, this is the 20th anniversary of Heavy Iron Studios, and the thing is, they're unfortunately not involved in the remaster that's coming out next year. It's being developed by Purple Lamp Studios, which is somewhat disappointing because this, yeah, again, this is the 20th anniversary of Heavy Iron Studios, and they have. So yeah, it's a hammer robot right there. It's literally just called the Hammer. Get it? Hammer. Yeah, it's literally what the robot's called. So, very simple enemy. They basically just hit you overhead with the piece fan. That's all they do. This is our first non-speaking NPC of the game. You see a lot of these throughout the game, and literally all they do is just cheer for you whenever you kill robots, and they also cry for help whenever there are robots around. Not really much to them other than that. You can't really talk to them, unfortunately. It would be pretty cool if they could. Also, this is Jellyfish Rock, and this is what the first area of Jellyfish Fields is named after, Jellyfish Rock. So, it's a cool little statue of a jellyfish that's nowhere in the actual show, so something nice they added for this game. But like I was saying, it's kind of sad that Heavy Iron Studios is not involved in an HD remaster of one of the best games they ever made. It's very unfortunate. SpongeBob needs to know the bubble bowl move in order to play this game. So that'll be pertinent later on with the bubble bowl. It's called the bubble bowl.
New sponge.
But yeah, so they're not involved in the HD remaster, and yeah, I got comments like originally when it was first announced, like asking me if I knew about it. It's like, yeah, I've been looking at all the news about it. I've been looking at the trailers and whatnot. And as of right now, as of me making this recording, there is no official release date other than 2020. They're saying it's just coming out sometime next year, but yeah, there's no official release date of the game currently yet. And do not go off of the Amazon, pre-order release date. You cannot go off of that because Amazon simply has to put some dates for, the release of a pre-order. They have to. So that's, I don't know why they have that sign right there, but yeah, apparently if you didn't know about goo yet, now you do. And that hammer robot will always destroy itself in the goo. So yeah, it's yeah, Amazon has to put a placeholder date because they can't put nothing. Basically, they can't put no date for a future release. So they have to put something. What they do is they put basically a random date at the end of the year that the supposed product is supposed to come out, so that way people are not expecting it earlier than when the product actually comes out. And if it gets announced for a later year, then they can just adjust it. But if they put like a random date like towards the like the beginning of the year, and then that date passes, people get upset. They also get upset if that date approaches and they keep on like pushing it forward, basically. So that's why they put it, a date like towards the end of the year, like December 29th or something like that. But yeah, once THQ Nordic announces the actual release date, then they will change it on Amazon. So yeah, do not go off of the release date they have on Amazon. So yeah, this is one of the many socks we can get. Well, 2 of them actually, because I just got 2 of them from this Vileplume right here. I don't think it's called Vileplume actually. I don't know what it's actually called. For all I know, Vileplume's probably the name of a Pokemon or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know where I got it from. That machine huffing puffing over there is a Duplicatotron 1000. The D1000 will continue to create robots until it is destroyed. Be careful though, it goes out with a big bang. So basically your Emmy spawners is what these guys are. And that, my friends, is the end of Jellyfish Rock. We're still up to 17 minutes here, so we've got time to do something else. So let's go on and get on to the next area, Jellyfish Fields. So yeah, it was only the 3rd game that Heavy Iron Studios developed, and they struck gold. But the thing is, when this game first came out, it actually got pretty average reviews from critics. I don't understand why, honestly. They were pretty meh about this game.
Wow! Mermaid Man! I have all your comics and toys and mail.
Huh? What? Oh, yeah, it's that Sponge kid. And now, what was I supposed to tell you?
That Patrick is surrounded by robots and needs my help.
Huh? Oh, no. I think it had something to do with massaging my feet.
Well, if massaging your feet will save Patrick, then massage I must.
Help! They're making me hit myself.
Massaging your feet isn't working. I think I'd better try a more direct approach.
By clipping my toenails?
Here I come, Patrick!
So that's Joe White voicing Merman as well as Mr. Krabs in this game. And also I'd like to reiterate that, I don't know if I said this in the last episode, but this is actually not the first SpongeBob game that Joe White voiced Mr. Krabs. He actually voiced him in Super Sponge as well on PS1. So I didn't mention it in when actually LP'd Super Sponge on PS1 earlier in this marathon because I didn't know that. But yeah, that's actually Joe White voicing him as well there too. So he didn't really audition for this game. I think they just remembered that he did pretty decent as Mr. Krabs in the Super Sponge, so they just kind of used him here. I don't know if there was an actual audition or not. I don't know for sure. I'm just kind of going off of assumptions actually, which is not correct. So I took a shortcut the first time going down the slide here, get a sock, but there's another one that I missed at the end of the slide here, so I'm gonna see if I can get it here. But seriously, I have never missed that sock more than once at a time. Yeah, all right. Also, the music that plays in the on the slides, it's pretty awesome. And get used to hearing that throughout pretty much most of the worlds in the game, because there's pretty much a slide in some form in every world of the game, actually. So, anyways, we are up to 20 minutes here, so we're going to end things off here. Yes, I know, it's probably the worst possible place to end off an episode for those of you who have played this game before, but I'm sorry. Gotta maintain my 20-minute, limit here to keep things consistent. So, next time on Battle for Bikini Bomb, we'll talk more about the game in general, and also we'll hopefully finish up Jellyfish Fields or get really close to doing so. See you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Battle for Bikini Bottom. I'd like to give a special shout out to currently my only patron, JC the Texas Scratcher. If you want your channel featured here or early content, consider supporting me on Patreon. If you like what you see, consider subscribing and clicking the bell to be notified of new episodes. See y'all tomorrow for another video.